Good morning, everybody. Well, the weather on the moon's a bit better than I thought it would be. Now, we didn't come here to the Sea of Tranquility in that thing. We came on a bicycle. A bicycle we were sponsored to come on. It's a long way. But here is yesterday's Brian to explain all about that. Moon kids. So as far as I can tell, there's three types of ways you get sponsored on YouTube. The first way is a company will say, we will give you real money, actual money, if you talk about our thing on your YouTube video for like a minute or something like that. And those are the ones where you see people doing a vlog and then they'll say, this video was brought to you by whoever, and now we're going to talk about whatever they're selling for 60 seconds. I don't get those offers. The second type of sponsorship you get offered is a company will say, we would like to send you a thing we make for free if you talk about it on your channel and tell people about it and put a link in the description. And we'll send you the thing for free. Now I get those all the time. And then the third one is, as far as I can tell anyway, some companies will say, hello, Brian, we'd like to send you the thing we make. We don't really need you to talk about it in a video, but if it's in the background and people see it, so much the better. And I get those from time to time as well. But I get the second one mostly. And to be honest with you, I say no to a lot of things. So what have I said no to? I've said no to a watch. I've said no to a water tester. Why do I need a water tester? And I said no to something else recently as well. I don't know, I can't remember what it was. But anyway, the one thing it did say yes to, reluctantly initially, was a bicycle. So I got a message on Instagram and then an email back in November from a company called Hitway Bicycles. And they said, hi Brian, we watched your channel. And I knew they did watch the channel because they kind of referenced a few things on the channel. Some of these emails you get are pretty generic. And we'd like to send you a bicycle to use on one of your adventures. And I initially said, no, because I have a bicycle. Why do I need two bicycles? But then they said, look, we'll send you a picture of it. And if it's any use to you and you think you like it, we'll send one on to you. So I said, okay, send us a picture. And they sent me a picture and it was quite a funky looking bike. And this is the bike. Ta-da! Now, I took that bike to the Ile de Ré with me, the Island of Ré, last November. Because it kind of all fell around the same time. I was going over there anyway, because people have been saying you should go and check out the Ile de Ré. I was going over that way to look at a car for a mate of mine, and I figured I'd combine it all in one trip, go to this island, have a look at this car, and have a squint around and see what's what. Now, the people that told me to go and see the island, two mates of mine, I said, it's brilliant, but bring your bike with you. So we're just going to bring my normal mountain bike. This one, it's a Rocky Mountain Altitude Power Play, and it's a really good bike. But that mountain bike is more designed for going down hills quickly and jumping over things. It's not ideal for sort of squirting about a little town or village. So I brought this one instead, and it was brilliant. It did the job. It was nice and comfy to ride, and I didn't have to worry about the battery because there's two big batteries on it. So I was able to cycle around all weekend, no dramas. The only problem with this bike is there's nowhere to carry stuff, like a back carrier, which is a bit of a pain in the backside, especially during the summer when it's hot. You have to have a bag on your back and you have to be cycling around the place, and it's not fun for anyone. So what I did was, this year, I emailed the lady at Hitway, Nikita, I think her name is, and I said, look, I'm thinking about using this bike again this summer. I use it quite a lot, actually. I said, but can I buy a back carrier or some sort of thing where I can, like, hang a bag so I don't have to have a bag on my back? And she said, no, I'm sorry, that bike doesn't come with anything like a back carrier. But we do have another bike, and would you be interested in having a go with that one instead? So a couple of months ago now, they sent me this thing. Isn't that cool? It's a BK6RS. Apparently, I don't know. Now, the reason I said yes to this one, rather than just suffering a bag on my back, is because they sent me a picture of it. And the first thing I thought when I saw it was, this is a bike that a lot of people who watch this channel, I feel, could use. Let me explain why. So with the whole sponsorship thing and agreeing to sort of do things with other people's stuff, it has to come under two criteria. One, it's something I'd use anyway. And two, or two. It's something that I think people watching the videos may find use of. So I didn't think you'd find use of a fancy watch. I didn't think you'd find use of a water tester. But when they sent me a picture of this thing, I thought, do you know what? That might enable people that want to go on little mini adventures, sort of a method of doing it. Because like super duper mountain bike for the Alps, not everyone's going to want one of them. That thing, very, very good bike for bopping around the place, forest tracks and all that. But you got to swing your leg over it and you can't carry anything on it. But if you wanted a bike you could just sort of step onto and commence, then this is quite useful. Now, cards on the table time. I've had this a couple of months. I've ridden it approximately once. And the most that this bike has been ridden has been by friends that have been visiting my place. And I've been able to sort of chuck bikes at them and go, oh, I can go over here and have a look at this. So it's been mostly ridden by friends of mine. And they all seem to like it. Now, when Hitway sent it to me, it didn't come with this thing. Well, it did come with this thing, but it wasn't attached. This was attached instead, like a little seat here. But they sent me an extra luggage thing because they literally took my request to be able to carry stuff to the max. So they sent me this big basket that goes on the back. That was on it. And they sent me a bag as well. And there it is. So they very kindly sent me a waterproof kind of bag thing. And that kind of clips on there. It goes in there. Or the front, I suppose. And it's got straps on it somewhere that you can wear it as a backpack. So I might bring that with me. I think I will bring that with me. That's quite useful. Haven't used that either. Now, the cool thing about this one is, I thought, and I hope this works out for me, is that it folds in half. And here's where the whole endeavour might go south. It needs to not only fold in half, but it needs to go into the back of that thing. And if I'm honest, I don't think they had sports cars in mind when they designed this thing, Chewy. So, some disassembly may be required on this in order to fit it in the car. Right, this is probably the only bike review on YouTube where the person starts by disassembling the bike, but needs must. So, let's start with the basics. We don't need that because we don't need an extra seat. We could probably take that off altogether. Okay, that's one bit gone. It does fold in half, but I think I'll have to do a bit more, get a bit more, what's the word? Radical with it. So that's going to have to come off. That's going to have to come off. Potentially the wheels are going to have to come off, and that's going to have to come off. Luckily, it's all pretty straightforward, actually. It's like any bike. It's only just, it's usually like a little hex piece, and they tend to be all the same size. There we go. So hopefully we can just sort of unbolt everything and bolt it all back together when we get there. Well, it fits. Now, I did have to do a bit more disassembly than you would probably normally do. But the main thing is, it's in. Right, you're going to need a bag, sun cream, a hat, glasses, maybe a spacesuit if you got one going. I'll explain later. Get in the car. Welcome to Toulouse, or the Pink City as they call it, La Ville Rose. And I'm here this week because, well, it was on my list. I don't know if I told you at the start of the year, one of the things I said was, this summer, this year, I'm going to go and visit loads of places in France because, you know, I've worked quite a lot since I got here, and I feel like sometimes I miss out in the summers because I'm working so much. So I thought this summer now is going to be the summer of Brian exploring the country he has chosen to make his home. And I made a rough list of places, and Toulouse was on the list because it's very beautiful. architecturally speaking, there's a cool bridge over there, and it's stunning looking. I'll show you that in a minute. But the reason it's called the Pink City, as far as I can tell, don't at me if I'm wrong, is because most of the buildings, or a lot of the buildings, are made from a terracotta brick, or at least they have a terracotta brick facade on them. And when the sun goes down, they kind of glow pink. It's very nice, very, very nice. Anyway, I'm going to go find a cup of coffee now and sit somewhere and watch the world go by for a bit, because I've no real plan today other than arrive in Toulouse. That was kind of the plan, and then kind of pick my way around on that bike that Hitway sent me, because apparently, not apparently, there is a very good what's it called, bike lane network, bike network, I don't know, bike lanes. There's loads of bike lanes in this city, so it's quite handy. Genuinely didn't know that before I got here. I just thought it would be like, you know, most French cities. Although most French cities do have fairly decent bike lanes, so I'm not overly surprised. Goes one now. Right, coffee. Now, I swear to God I didn't plan this. I promise you. And maybe it's just because I don't get out of rural France much and into cities, but it's actually a pretty cool place to be cycling around. Doesn't matter what kind of bike you're on, it's sort of built for bicycles. It's just loads of roads blocked off, loads of cycle lanes everywhere, and loads of places kind of park up and lock your bike. And there's a real culture of just people squirting about the place on bikes. Quite happy with my decisions. Maybe stuff like this would work out better more often if I actually planned it. Maybe a tip for the future, Brian. Plan something rather than just falling into it by good luck and happenstance. I don't know, good luck and happenstance has got me pretty far so far, so we might stick with that. Lovely coffee here too. This is the Place du Capital in Toulouse, and there's a giant market square in the center of the city. They call it the heart of the city, and during the French Revolution this is where they erected the guillotine, you know. Right, lovely as this weather is, if I don't put a hat on and some sun cream, I'm going to be red as a lobster. Where's my sun cream gone? Spanners, camera, sun cream. Top tip with sun cream, and I learned this the hard way. Just put a little bit on your forehead, because if you sweat, it dribbles down into your eyes. Not nice. I've got sun cream on my glasses. Oh yes. Looking like a proper American tourist now. Off we go. That's the tourist office. That's the coolest tourist office I've ever seen. We are behind that white square. Just behind that. That's where we are now. Where all those trees are. Garden's not long enough. Garden of plants. That's what that means. Garden of plants. Oh, that's better. Now the only thing is, when Hitway sent me this bike, It's like the standard stuff you get with it. So you got like a pump and like a multi-tool and spanner thing and a lock. And when I sent me the other bike, they also sent me a lock, and it's very good. And it clips on a little bracket that you bolt onto the bike, so it's super handy. Until today, because today I just tried to lock the bike somewhere, and the lock's broken, so I can't lock the bike anywhere, which kind of is a bit awkward really, because if I want to leave the bike and go for a bit of a wander, I kind of need to lock it. So I had a quick Google, and there's a Decathlon in Toulouse, so I'm on my way there now to see if I can get a cheap bike lock, so we can continue our adventure. Ooh, that's really pretty, look at that. With a key. Now I did find something out about Toulouse which is pretty cool. So back in the day, Toulouse was the place where the colour blue came from when it came to textiles, and I'm not sure, but I think maybe oil paints. I don't know, I'll have to check that one out. But the area around Toulouse, there's a plant called the woad plant. Now it does have a Latin name, and for the life of me I can't pronounce it, so we're just going to call it the woad plant. And from this plant, back in the day, they used to extract the pigmentation that was used to make the colour blue in fabrics and clothes and textiles and stuff. And for a long, long time, it was the only place in France, and I'm pretty sure the only place in Europe, where this pigment, this dye came from. So it was a thriving industry back in the day. Obviously, you can get the colour blue in lots of places now. But I thought that was quite interesting. Anyway, we're in the Natural History Museum right now. A, because it's nice and cool, and B, because I do like a good museum. So I think we're going to have a waddle around here. Maybe we can get a bit of lunch. We are in Toulouse, so it would be a shame if we didn't try Toulouse sausage. Anyway, I'm having a lovely day. Right, let's go. Also, I should point out, if you are thinking about visiting Toulouse, and probably other cities. Now I don't do cities an awful lot, but if you are thinking about visiting Toulouse, I would recommend a bicycle. Not necessarily the one I have, you don't have to rush out and buy that one, but a good sort of city commutery bike. It just means you can shoot around the place. I've got from one end of the city to the other and all around and across it. Really easy today. It's been fantastic. And like I said before, pretty sure it's most cities in France, but definitely Toulouse has a great cycle network. There is a metro here as well, but I don't fancy going down into a metro in heat like this. They'd be carrying me back out of it. Look at this. Got a nick. And what the hell is that thing? Looks like a gorilla. The bike thing, yeah, it worked out quite well. Would I buy one? I don't know. I probably would. If I was doing a lot of city commuting. It's a good little commuter bike. It's not great on the hills. It kind of loses its loses its go on the hills a bit, and I was only carrying a few little bits and pieces in the bag, nothing, not like bags of shopping or anything like that. So I don't know, maybe something to think about. But if you live in a hilly city, don't get one basically. But yeah, like San Francisco. But if you live in a normal flat city, can't fault it. Does the job, and I'm all about the right tool for the right job. So yeah, it was brilliant. Thank you very much, Hitway, for sending it to me. Here's my cunning plan. We skedaddle. Because it's just getting hotter. It's just getting hotter. I said we hit the road, get in the car, turn the aircon on full, maybe change the t-shirt, go find a beer in a pool somewhere. Camera Brian. Right, I think I'll end the vlog there today because it's a pretty good place to end the vlog, but wait till you see where we're going tomorrow. Anyway, thank you for watching today's vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm going to chill out here for a bit and then see if I can scrounge up a bit of dinner. Try and tune in tomorrow if you get a chance, because the next place we're going is pretty cool. Anyway, have a good day, and I'll see you soon.